Hey, welcome in everybody to Red Rank Podcast. I'm your host, The Crow Show, home of the smoothest voice on Twitch. Well, we can debate that among a few of these people here today. Today, I'm joined by three amazing people who have been on the podcast already. I reached out to them and I said, hey, it's my dream to have a panel discussion about Dead by Daylight and content creation. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. So here we are. So it's been kind of a long-term goal on the podcast. I think that like collaboration in any form, I think is a really good thing, whether it's on Twitch or podcasting or whatever. And it's just fun to exchange ideas, I think. So today we're joined by Slushie, WhoaJaco, and SgtFidget. Welcome in, everybody. How you doing today?
Hello.
Okay, so what I'm going to do on the show today is I'm going to introduce each person one by one, and then we'll talk about their content really quickly. Then we'll get into some like Dead by Daylight content creation discussion. And if you're here to learn about which perks you should run, you know, which killer is the best, which survivor perk is the best, this isn't the place for you because we're not having any of that talk here today. It's just going to be pretty chill. We'll get into some, you know, strategy, of course, but we're not going to be like ranking killers and ranking perks and such. We're not doing that today. So the first person I want to introduce, Slushie, recently partnered on Twitch, a Toxic Cape main, and has some fire alerts on stream. Slushie, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome in. Thanks for being here, and thanks. Congratulations on getting partnered on Twitch. That happened recently, right?
Yeah, like it was less than a week ago, actually.
Yeah.
I just changed my name too. It was Slushy Puppy with an extra E on the end, but I thought just Slushy looked really clean, so that's what I did.
Oh, it's awesome! Yeah, and I was there when you got the notification that you got invited to be partner, and we were all freaking out in John's stream, and I felt kind of bad because we're like celebrating on somebody else's stream, but it was like just such a cool moment.
Yeah, luckily I know John well enough, so I knew that I could be like, John, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like I was like physically shaking and crying. I had to call somebody.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. We're also joined today by SgtFidget. Fidget, welcome in. Also partnered streamer on Twitch. A Meg main with the nastiest, most ugly cosmetic combo I've ever seen. He puts basketball shorts and her formal top with a baseball cap on. It's really strange.
She's ready for anything life throws at her. And jealousy is an ugly emotion, Crow. You should work on that.
Yeah, Crow, I think we're hating a little bit right now. I thought the Meg fit is a little fire, but I didn't want to say anything.
Okay. I went in a little too hard.
My emote, huh?
That's true. No Megs.
I have an animated emote that has Meg and then it flashes the word no.
So we might have a bumping of heads here. But yeah, Fidget loves horror. All things horror, is very much into the Silent Hill franchise and is very good with Pyramid Head. Fidget, welcome in. How are you doing today?
Doing absolutely fantastic. Happy to be here again.
Yeah, and if anybody's listening who wants to do a podcast, if you want to climb the ranks in whatever game you're playing, just get Fidget on your show. Because like SgtFidget's what's this, the third time you've been on the podcast?
Yeah.
Or fourth time?
Third or fourth. Yeah. Yeah.
Each time you get on the show, though, your name is always at the top of when you search Dead by Daylight. It's like SgtFidget interview, you know, so-and-so update featuring SgtFidget. It's always at the top. So
I give people a lot of stuff to disagree with, so
it's true.
I never stop talking.
That's true. That's true. And Jaco, welcome in, dude. Thanks for doing this with us today.
Yeah, of course.
Also partnered streamer on Twitch. Also a Toxic Cape main. Dabbles in all aspects of horror on stream, including some of the most obscure independent games I've ever seen. Jaco, welcome in. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good.
Where do you find all those crazy, weird games? Because I remember the last time we talked, you said you do a lot of research on those.
Yeah, like that's just part of my like every night. Usually I take an hour to just go through different scary games, something that I think would make a good YouTube video, TikTok, and then that stream would enjoy usually.
Oh, that's awesome. It works really well because I've been in there when you're playing some random game with like, original NES graphics.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what is this? You make it work, and it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so the format of the show, I may have mentioned this earlier. I'm going to ask each person an individual question regarding their content. We'll go through that, and then we'll go through some broad kind of general questions, and we'll all speak to those questions. So first off, I wanted to start off with Fidget. How was the Light in the Fog event? Do you want to talk about your experience with that?
It was an absolute blast and for an amazing cause. I had a really fantastic group that I got to play with. Three of them I was playing with for the first time ever. One of them I play with pretty frequently, but it was great to get together with them. Everyone seemed to vibe really well. We had a lot of really fun games. A lot of money was raised during our block, which was awesome to see. And then I was able to shoutcast immediately after for 4 hours.
Oh,
And
cool.
I just put a tweet out about this like an hour or so ago. I did that on Thursday, and we're recording this on Monday. And I've had so many people reach out pretty much every day since, like people I've never spoken to before, big Dead by Daylight content creators, everyone just saying how much they enjoyed my commentary for that four
Oh,
hour
cool.
block. So that was really encouraging, and it just kind of makes me want to do more of it in the future.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, congrats on that. And that's a very good cause. I bought the plushie.
Nice.
I bought the mug last year, bought the plushie this year. So really good cause. And
Mhm.
I tuned in when I could, and always had a good time. What didn't matter who was playing, and it was fun to like go to like the main Light in the Fog channel, and then also have one of the other streams open so you could hear like what they were saying. So
Oh yeah, it's fun to watch like the main channel and get the commentary perspective, and then pick up one of the other channels and hear all the survivors talking to each other through the games.
yeah, yeah, it was really good, really entertaining, and I think everybody I tuned into did a fantastic job.
Absolutely, and they worked
Um,
really hard in that event too. Like it was a long weekend, but it was a great weekend.
oh, totally. Yeah, and yeah, it ran really smoothly. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Something I completely overlooked, but definitely worth calling attention to that.
Yeah, like some of the producers were having like 12, 13-hour days, 4 days in a row. And
Oh,
that's just
wow.
when they were live, not including the offline work, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
hard work put into it.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. My next question is for Slushie. I noticed you do like dance breaks during your stream. Do you want to talk about
Mhm.
like how you implemented that and why it was implemented?
Yeah, so I end up like I have this like understanding with some of my other like streamer friends, content creator friends, and whatnot, that solo queue can get quite unbearable. So they can just join me whenever, and they know that they can. So if like we're like really struggling in a match, we'll decide to like just go for dumb plays, see what we can get away with because we know we're gonna die anyway. Um, and so one time I went for flashbangs, like locker saves, missed every single one of them. And then the whole team got bled out for
Oh, no.
my terribleness. Um, so I had to wait the full 5-minute timer because I wasn't going to DC for it. So I just was like, you know what? I was in a good mood, so we started dancing, and that has now happened. I have 2 TikToks ready, and there's already 2 out
Oh,
of
nice.
dance party of me being bled out. So that's where it stems from. Is I get bled out in Dead by Daylight. So instead of just sitting there and complaining about it, I just try to keep chat entertained and have them
Uh,
dance in the chat with me.
that's awesome. That beats my strategy of just sitting here being like, "Oh my god, I hate this game.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
uninstalling."
I just start bitching. I just don't stop.
I feel that's like the perfect slap in the face too to that killer if they happen to check
Mhm.
your stream afterwards, thinking,
Yeah.
"Aha, they're gonna be so annoyed," and you and your chat are
And you're
just
just
dancing and
dancing,
having a
Yeah,
good
just
time.
dancing.
That's like the perfect response to something like that.
Yeah, and
That's
I make
great.
sure to like put the camera on the killer and I throw it back on the killer just so that they can see it.
Oh,
And,
that's awesome.
That the one that did well, the Wesker, I mean, he actually found out about the TikTok and he wasn't very happy about it.
Oh, I didn't know that part. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I saw the Wesker one, and that was so funny. It cracked me up.
Yeah, he was the person that said, "I am Wesker, so I have to act like Wesker."
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Okay, settle down.
That guy takes his job
Settle
seriously.
Yeah.
That's some
Oh,
Dead by
man.
Daylight role play right there. Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty extreme.
Yeah, a little bit much, but you know what? To each his
Yeah.
own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, aren't survivors supposed to dance and celebrate at Exegate? So you're just fitting
Yeah,
your
I
role
mean-
too. What's his
Yeah.
problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Very true. They need to add that to the game already. Dancing
Emotes?
emotes. Like,
Yeah,
why is it
for
a
sure.
thing?
hmm
Just sitting on it'd just be printing
They'd
free
make
money.
so much money. They'd make
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
would buy them. Are you kidding? I'd buy every single one.
Yeah.
I know they would never do it, but they should put an emote in where the survivor just flips them off. Because, like,
Oh, yeah.
if 4 survivors were standing at the exit gate and it said
With their
teammate, and
middle
they all just
finger.
turn and flip me off, I would just think that's so funny.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be mad about them getting 4
Yeah,
out.
right?
I'd be like, damn, all right.
That's great. Okay, next question's for Jocko. A little while back, you did a series of TikToks. I think it was 3, using one-man bands singing in the background and
I
pretending
knew
like
you were
your
going to ask
friends
me
were
about
singing.
this. I knew you were going to ask me about this. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, can you talk about the reception of those TikToks? Did you get universal hate, love,
Yeah, it's
both?
fun. It's funny. So when I posted that for the first time, it was like a trend on TikTok for a little bit. I always saw like Fall Guys videos and like I saw a Valorant video. That's what inspired me to do a Dead by Daylight one. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of funny. So I made one, and then it got like 50K on the first day, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I made it. So I made another one because I was like, I'll make 2. And the first one just started blowing up. Like all of a sudden, just hundreds of thousands of views and likes. And then the second one did even better. I couldn't believe it. And for the most part, at first, it was really good. Like everyone was really happy with it. They're like, wow, this is so cute. I love it so much. And I was like, all right, like people like it. But then that was like, I'd say like 60% of the reaction. 40% was people so pissed off telling me that I have no friends that like, I was like, okay, listen. You're right about that, but we don't need to get into that right now, okay? I don't have any friends, but this doesn't prove that I have no friends, okay?
Conversation for another day.
For another time. So they would be so, like, I got so much hate, like, this guy's faking it, this guy has, I assume it's children, maybe?
Yeah,
I'd
probably.
assume. So I just kind of stopped caring. But I'll notice it hit the For You page every once in a while and then gain another 100K likes or gain another 100K views. So then that's when I'll make another video. Because it's kind of hard to not make a video or a series when you have people commenting, oh my God, this made me so happy. I watched it 10 times. It put the biggest smile on my face. Like, how am I not supposed to make another one?
Oh,
So
exactly.
I don't really enjoy making them because it's not the content I'm here to make, but if it makes people happy, I guess. I'm planning on making another one soon just because I noticed one of the old ones hit the For You page again. So I'll probably make another one. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it cracked me up because like at first, when one of, I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, whoa, Jocko's got some really cool friends. And I was like, for about 10 seconds, I was really invested. I was like,
that's
wow.
I think when everyone thought it was like real, like most people thought it was real, is when it was like super cute. But now that people don't really know it's not real anymore, that's kind of why I don't want to make them anymore.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. That's cool. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. Okay, so I guess we can dive into like again, like my dream for this podcast is I'll always have interviews, and when I can bring multiple people together, whether it's 2-3 people, and just have a chat about Dead by Daylight and content creation. So the first question I have written down here is, how are y'all feeling about Dead by Daylight right now? If I ask you that, I know it's a loaded question, but let's start with Fidget. Why don't I start with you?
I mean, it hasn't really changed much for me. I know with the updates and changes that have come over the last couple months, a lot of people, more so on the survivor side, aren't enjoying themselves anymore. Like solo queue is obviously very rough right now. But I I'm kind of one of those people that when I play Survivor, I take the pain for other people's enjoyment. I intentionally do a lot of solo queue, not 100% of the time, but I do a lot of solo queue, and whenever I get frustrated with that or just don't feel like playing it, I also like I'm known as like a killer main. I know you described me as a mag main at the beginning, but I'm known as a killer
Yeah.
main. So
Yeah.
me switching over to killer, and you know, yeah, it's all the same to me right now. Not a whole lot has really changed for me. I'm still enjoy. I have my days where I'm like, man, I just really don't feel like playing this. But overall, like
Yeah.
I still enjoy making content with the game. I I've had great success with this game since I started playing 2 years ago. I started playing during the Silent Hill chapter. For those who don't know me, so I'm just over 2 years now, and in those 2 years, I have 3,200 hours. So like, I'm still enjoying myself with the game and still enjoy making content with it. So I hear a lot of the complaints and issues that people have. And if I was probably a more like if I wasn't a content creator and I was more of a casual gamer, I'd probably be more in that boat. But as this is kind of like my main game, it's just another day in the fog.
True. True. Slushie, how you feeling about DBD right now?
I definitely feel like it's in a weird state, like Fidget said, with solo queue, because I'm typically a solo queue gamer as well. So I've stopped like really caring about escaping. I don't try to escape when I solo queue anymore. So I'll just bring a build like Deception, Head On, Quick and Quiet, and Flashbang, and just try to have fun with it that way. But this game has brought me to where I am right now. Like, if it wasn't for Dead by Daylight, I wouldn't be a full-time content creator. I wouldn't have started streaming in the first place. I wouldn't still be streaming right now, because for those that don't know, when I first started streaming, I was an Among Us and Minecraft streamer.
That's
That lasted for
awesome.
about a month. And then I started playing Dead by Daylight consistently, and it's been like that for 2 years now. So as much as I hate on the game on a daily basis, I love this game and I wouldn't stop playing it. It's just going through its cycles, you know.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I think that's fair.
To comment on what you mean, like with the state of the game, one thing I noticed when MMR was introduced and it's gotten gradually worse is like when I was before that with TikTok, I would have funny TikToks lined. I would post one a day, and I would have them lined up days in advance because there was so much. It was so easy to have silly, funny content. Now I find these days I'll go days without getting something like TikTok worthy because so many more of the games now are just like, I'm playing a tournament right now.
Yeah, playing
Everything
for
is super intense.
$30,000.
Yeah, everyone we're sweating on gens, or we're like, we're someone's trying to take the killer on a 5-gen chase because the killer only wants them. Like it's the state of the overall game has changed to the point where I've even noticed like it's a lot harder just to get a silly, funny 10-15 second clip for TikTok. It's like almost like a diamond in the rough now.
Yeah, that's
It's
why
true.
I've it's been like almost 2 weeks since I've posted a TikTok, because the funny moments are just so hard to come by. And so that's why at the beginning of the podcast, when I was talking about the dance out or the dance party when I'm getting bled out, that happens so often. So I just try to make light out of it, at least try to make a funny moment, because they're so hard to come by anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah, meanwhile, Jaco over here is like, it's been 2 hours since I've posted a TikTok. Man's a machine.
Yeah.
I post a lot.
how do you feel about DVD right now, Jaco?
It's cool. I honestly, I don't actually hate it right now. I know all the changes are like against Survivor, and like I only play solo queue, so like I be suffering. Don't think I don't be suffering. I do, but I actually don't hate it. Honestly, a lot like Wesker is such for me. The only enjoyment I get out of this game is looping. Like the core gameplay is looping. When I go on a long loop, I have a good time. And it seems to be like a dice roll, to be honest with you. Every day is either it depends on the roll of killers I get for the day is my enjoyment of DBD. So if I go against, a couple Weskers and a hillbilly and a Bubba and then a couple Ghostface, it's a good day. It's a fun day. Then the next day comes and it's 3 tricksters and maybe just a bunch of anti-loop killers, and it's just not. I don't know. I don't enjoy it as much. But I only play for 2 hours usually on stream DBD. I can't play more than that. So I feel like that's why I kind of have it's more refreshing to me every time I get on, because it's only a couple hours a day I play, and then maybe like an hour outside for recording for YouTube.
Yeah.
But if I played more than that, I would probably hate this game. I think I would.
I do 6 hours a day.
Yeah. So God bless you and your heart. I don't know how anybody can play after about I say 2 hours, but now I start my streams off talking for 30 minutes in the beginning, just like warming up the stream. So it's really only an hour and a half a day of DBD. And towards the last match, I'm not kidding. Towards the last match, I'm kind of like, all right, let's play our variety game for the day, because I can't do this anymore. And I don't know. I would like to play longer because I'd love to stream longer. But that game is kind of tough to play for long periods of time.
Yeah, I'm just like Fidget. I do 6 to 8 hours a stream of Dead by Daylight. So
you don't have to go into specifics, obviously, Jaco. This is your business. But do you find when you go from DBD to like a variety game, do you feel that huge hit in your analytics?
So, of course, there's a number change, 100%, obviously. But I'd say for the most part, at first, I would lose about 50% of my viewer base, but now it's actually less and less. I'd say like if I have like 250 viewers for DBD, I'll go down to 200 for variety. If I have,
that's not bad at all, to be honest.
To be honest with you, it's not, and I look at that and I'm really grateful for it. If I have 350 viewers on a day for DBD, or 350 to 400, I'll go down to 270 to 300. So it doesn't drop like an insane amount, and I think it's because ever since I started streaming, I made it clear that I did not want DBD to be my main game. If people wanted to watch me for DBD, that's fine, but it's not going to be something that I mean, it is my main game. What am I saying? But it's not going to be my only game. It's like 50% of my content is DBD. And I think as long as you can keep that, if you consistently stay away from DBD, play it half of your stream, I think that people start to get used to content other than DBD content. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys notice that your viewers drop a lot when you play outside of DBD, play stuff outside of it?
Yes, but how much it drops depends on the genre of the game.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like I typically average around 100 viewers for DBD, but I played Silent Hill 3 this past weekend, and I was down to 75, which isn't necessarily bad at all. Only 25 viewer drop. Like that's not bad.
That's
especially considering that game is over like what 20 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
But then strangely enough, I might be going on a different off-topic thing here. I was briefly talking about this on a stream the other day. I feel like people who play DBD are always like, we need more ASIMs. We need more ASIMs. We need more ASIMs. But then when a new ASIM comes out, they look at it for 1 second and go, well, this isn't DBD, and they check out. And the reason I say that is because I had, when Ghostbusters launched, the very first day I had great viewership, and then the second day I switched to it after like 4 hours of DBD, and when I checked my analytics afterwards, when I switched over to Ghostbusters, 40 people left. And I'm like, didn't you guys say you wanted new ASIMs? Now here I am showing you new ASIM, and you're like, well, this isn't DBD. Goodbye forever. And I'm like, this is a great game. It's a shame because it's actually a really fun game, and I feel like it already feels like it's fading on Twitch. And I'm like, this is a shame because it's actually a really fun game that I think a lot of people would enjoy.
Yeah, ASIMs. There's a lot of ASIMs that come out, and honestly, the only one that I ever found to be like replayable, where I'd want to play on hours on end, was Friday the 13th. That was the first game that I played. Fun. Super fun, and I almost became a Friday the 13th streamer. I didn't because I didn't want to be stuck playing that game, which is the reason why I held off on making DVD content for so long. And honestly, every other ASIM I've played has been so boring. I just don't enjoy. I haven't played. You said Ghostbusters is a new one that
just came out.
I have to give it a try then. I haven't played that. But when I played what was the one that came out before that? VHS sucked. I hated that game. That game was so boring to me. Hold on, not right now. And there was another one, Evil Dead, the Evil Dead game. I bought that. I have like 30 minutes in it. It's just none of these games.
Couldn't get into it, huh?
I couldn't, and I thought I was a fan of ASIM games, but I'm starting to think I don't like them. It's only Dead by Daylight and Friday.
You said you liked Friday the 13th. They're the ones working on Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, I'm excited for Texas and the Killer Clowns. I'm excited for both of those games coming out. But I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I'm sure they'll be fun for the week that it's out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But after that, I'm sure those games will 100% die out like every ASIM
I
does.
really hope the Texas Chainsaw one sticks
Oh,
around.
I hope so
because
too. It looks so
3v4,
cool.
a team of killers. It's like the worst thing about playing killer is, even though it's my favorite part about DBD,
By
I also
yourself.
really want to play with my friends. So
Mhm.
having
Oh,
a
yeah.
killer, a game where I can play killer and with my friends, like I really hope it's successful.
Hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it looks really good. And yeah, I keep a close eye on the analytics of each ASIM game that comes out. And it's the same trend. It's like it's popular for like maybe 2-3 days and then it just completely drops off. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at Ghostbusters and yeah, the first 2 days it was, I wouldn't say competing with DVD, but it was like really good viewership across the board. And then bam, cliff, and it's dead
Gone. Yep.
essentially. Yeah, it's a shame. You hate to see it, but yeah, I definitely do feel the hit as well if I try to stream something else. And I think it's maybe just a matter of setting expectations for people, because for me, I lose a minimum about 70% of my viewership when I switch to anything not DBD. I'm like, it's still me, man. I'm still like shouting at people being weird. And
One thing that kind of gives me a little bit of freedom to do variety stuff is, and they might not know this, I actually got partnered doing variety. I was a variety
oh,
streamer
that's right.
for
Yeah.
4.5 years before I started playing Dead by Daylight. So I still have, to this day, people who started watching me all the way back in 2008, no, 2016,
Hmm.
2016, when I started streaming, who still watch me like DBD, and I know those people will still watch me if I was to boot up GoldenEye. They're re-releasing GoldenEye soon. I don't care
Oh,
if I
that's
have
right.
5
Yeah.
people watching me. I'm playing the crap out of that because that's my
Yeah.
childhood right there. So, but I
Yeah.
still, like, I know I have all those people who will still hang around. But for a
Mhm.
lot of people, yeah, like if you started just doing one game like Dead by Daylight and that's all you've ever done, as soon as you switch,
It's really tough.
gone.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Mhm.
leave.
Oh,
It's really
totally.
tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And
kind of where
especially with,
I'm at.
You
yeah,
feel
you're
like
Like
your
if
viewers
like
drop a lot when you switch from DBD?
yeah, and that's something that like I've watched you do for a while because you've always done the Dead by Daylight, and then you play some indie game and you're like still entertaining and you still retain a lot of viewers. So it's something that I've wanted to do just out of inspiration from you for a while. But like when I try to do that, it's just like I have 120 people and then I switch 60. A
Yeah.
50% drop always.
It's
Mhm.
I think it helps a lot to let them know what they're getting into. If
Mhm.
you so it's I feel like if you want people to stay, if you want a large number of people to stay, the next game has to be the entire way through entertaining. A game that's really good at that is Mortuary Assistant. That
Oh, I played
game
that.
Oh,
I
cool.
It was fun.
hold, I'd say probably the closest to Dead by Daylight, almost identical numbers to Dead by Daylight when I play Mortuary
Mhm.
Assistant, because there's just always something going on. It's really easy to add commentary to a game where every time
Mhm.
you look, there's a noise or something.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's really hard to play other variety games, because especially like a story game, you could never play. Like
Mhm.
I haven't played a story game on stream in so long. I feel like that is like
Mhm.
the hardest way to keep your viewership with a story game.
Mhm.
You know?
Especially if it's a game like Fallout or some like Witcher or whatever, where there's a lot of dialogue. Sometimes
Oh,
for
yeah.
half an
Yeah.
hour at a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
They have to be really into the game because
And I
you might
can't
be
do
stuck.
that. I'll start to feel anxious if I'm playing a
Mhm.
game and either the cutscene is going on too long or the dialogue, or it's not I can feel it's not entertaining. That's when I start
Mhm.
to get a
Mhm.
little anxious and I'm like, okay, we got to figure something out. So that's kind of how
Mhm.
I've learned to change or choose the games that I play on stream.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same, but also opposite, where I don't get anxious if I have to listen to dialogue for a while. Because again, when back in my variety days, I would do like Witcher 3 and all that, so I'm used to it.
Mhm.
I get anxious when I'm trying to engage chat, where they're like talking to them about something in real life or even in the game, even if it's Dead by Daylight, I'm trying to engage them what's happening, and I'm getting no responses back.
Mhm.
That's when I
Oh, yeah.
start getting anxious on the spot, like,
Yeah.
I'm not being entertaining. I'm being boring.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
worst
And I'm like,
feeling
oh, like,
ever.
I'll pull off like this amazing snipe with like Pyramid Head, and I'll be like, chat's gonna lose their mind.
Oh,
Crickets,
You,
crickets. And
you
I'm
look,
like,
Yeah.
glance
I'm
over.
like,
You're like,
am I the only one that saw that?
I can
Oh,
piggyback
man.
off that real quick. probably about 2 years ago, I was streaming Apex Legends, which of course is not Dead by Daylight, but I think at the time I was doing like a charity week. So I was like, hey, everybody, I'm going to be playing like DBD. On this day, I'll be playing Apex. This day, I'll be playing this. So I'm playing Apex and I got to win, right? So it's like down to like the last couple of people. One guy gets eliminated. It's me and somebody else. And it's a pretty intense fight. I don't play Apex that much. So of course I missed a lot of shots. And then finally I eliminated the guy. I was like, oh, hell yeah, baby. Yo, we're Apex champions, baby. I was like, yo, let's go. And I'm like, I looked down at chat and I haven't seen a message for like 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, well, let's see if we can get another win here. And it went on for about another 5 minutes before somebody even said anything. And I was like dying on the inside. And I have a clip somewhere. I could maybe share it with you. It was just like, sometimes I'd go back and watch it and just be like, man, that was like the saddest moment of my streaming career. It was like my first Apex win and nobody to share it with.
Moments like that can definitely be brutal, but like something like the reason I don't feel that bad anymore if I don't see like an insane reaction like I'd expect is that, like, for me personally, I could never sit down and just watch a streamer, any stream. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I can't sit down. I have to have 19 different things going on. I'll be playing my own game. I'll be listening to music in the background, and then I'll be watching on the side. So I feel like that's majority of people. And that's kind of what made me feel a little bit better about, moments like that where you just like look over and, nobody's saying anything. It's just, you got to understand, just not everyone's typing. I don't type ever. Whenever I'm in any of my mutual streams and stuff, maybe I'll put an emote just to say hi, but I don't say anything.
And I think you're 100% correct. And it's something we need to constantly remind ourselves on, because I put on Twitter just the other day, I was asking if people, what do people feel about taking like my Dead by Daylight games from Twitch and putting it on YouTube.
I saw that tweet. Yeah.
And one of the I'm paraphrasing, but one of the responses was basically, I would love that because I use Twitch streams as like background noise when I get home from work and I'm like getting like dinner ready or doing all this other stuff. So if there's something special on YouTube, it allows me to go back and catch it where I may have missed it, even though I was listening to the stream at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's something that we constantly have to remind ourselves, right? Like you said, is that these people like to just chill and have it on as background noise. I don't play video games anymore for my own pleasure without something on the side. I just can't. I need something on the side. Like I'll watch Netflix on the side or something. I don't know. Maybe it's all these hours on TikTok, right? Overly stimulating my brain constantly. I just need some sort of overstimulation. I can't just chill out for 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And I was going to ask y'all at some point today, like, how much time do you spend on TikTok each day? Because, we all create content on TikTok, and part of finding success on TikTok, you've got to really be
influence
familiar
from
with the
others.
platform. Yeah, you've really got to draw inspiration from people, and in some cases, straight up steal from other people. So
take their content and turn it into your own.
Yeah, how much time do you spend on
I
TikTok?
set an hour on my phone. I actually set a limit because
you do?
Yeah, because I'll scroll for hours without even noticing. Like I there's times where I'll think of it like I scroll past a TikTok and I'm like, that was kind of funny. I want to rewatch it. So I'll scroll back up because I'm like, it was just there, right? It's 40 videos back and I didn't even notice. I just went through 40 effing videos. I thought I just watched it, but it was, an hour ago. So I set a limit and of an hour a day on my phone, and for that hour I am looking at mutuals content, looking at other variety streamers content, looking at just other content creators content, and learning how to make mine better. So that's what I use TikTok for. That's how long I use it for.
How about you, Slushie? How much time? Or you can lie if you want.
You remember when we talked last time, I said that my screen time was like 10 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
It's not that anymore. I've cut it out quite a bit because I get in my head a lot on TikTok, and like Jaco said, I'll just sit there and scroll and scroll and scroll and not do anything. So I have started to I'd say I'm probably on TikTok around 3 hours a day, and it's usually when I'm going to bed, like watching videos and such, because I have to force myself off my phone. I usually just leave it in another room somewhere, or else I will sit here and just scroll and scroll and scroll and not do anything like video editing or like doing anything else. I'm just like scrolling on TikTok.
my phone is always on do not disturb, always 24/7. I don't get back to people
Nice.
because if I pick up my phone and text somebody, I'm gonna hop on TikTok for another 30
Yeah.
45 minutes. I swear to God, it's so bad. And 45 minutes of editing is so important. That's so much editing
yeah.
that you could get done, you know?
Yeah, totally.
How do you guys feel about editing, by the way? You guys all edit your own stuff, right? You guys don't
Yeah.
have
Mhm.
editors. How
Yeah.
long do you guys spend a day editing usually?
When I first started, it used to take me forever because anything I wanted to do, I had to
To
Google it.
learn how to do
Because
it.
it would
That's
get
the-
really,
yeah.
really frustrated with it.
Mhm.
Because I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't be taking 8 hours to edit this simple video.
Yeah.
But now that I have way more experience with it, I can do things like on the fly, especially if I want to take like a clip and like just cut it down a bit for TikTok. Whereas before it would take me forever, I can do it in like 20 seconds. I'm like, do, and done, send it off.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes.
The only time
Yeah.
it takes longer now is with YouTube because like, you know, I try to edit down dull moments out of games. I try to put like music in it. Now I film like special intros for all of them too. So like that takes a bit longer, but again, everything is faster than when it was like even just a year ago.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I usually take about like 5 hours a day to edit. Actually, I spend most
Oh,
of my
that's
day
awesome.
editing. Yeah, most
Yeah.
of my day is part of editing. That's why I wanted to know like how much you guys do it, because I mean I'm definitely not efficient. It's not efficient editing. I mean my 5
Yeah.
hours should take probably around 3.5.
Yeah.
But yeah, eh, do you guys go through your VODs and watch them as you edit them, or do you just remember a special moment and then go back to it and take it out?
I have to rewatch my VODs
I
to
rewatch the
find stuff.
entire thing. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
wow,
usually
really?
do. I watch every VOD. It's painful sometimes. Watching yourself for 3 or 4 hours
Oh.
straight is not the most fun, by the way. Nobody ever
Mhm.
talks about that.
What I'll typically do is I have a clip button on my dash or on my stream deck. So sometimes I'll hit the clip button just as like a bookmark, either for something for TikTok or if I just want to remember a specific game.
That's smart. Yeah.
And
I
that's
have that
what I
button
do.
too. I should start doing that though.
And then
Yeah,
I'll be like,
I
oh,
do
you
that
know
too.
what? This entire game would make a good YouTube video, so I can just instantly go back to that point in the VOD and just grab it
And
then
grab
go
it and put it
edit
on
it.
YouTube. Yeah.
Usually, if there's something I think that will stand out for YouTube, it stands out in my head, and I don't need to go back and do the whole thing. The only time is just sometimes I'll forget little individual moments. Like if I missed my clip button or whatever, that would be good for TikTok, which I've been trying to get my chat like involved with. Like I just added a new command where if they type !chat, it will automatically just clip the last 30 seconds for them so they don't have to do all that stuff. So I'm trying to get them on board. Now, and I always tell them, like, guys, even if it doesn't clip it right, I can fix that later. It's a fast bookmark for me. I can go right to that moment and fix it. So don't worry about like it's too long at the beginning and whatever. It's just a helpful little bookmark for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do the same more or less. Like I have a clip button on my Stream Deck, and it clips like 30 seconds. And each clip, it's just titled whatever the title of your stream is, which is kind of annoying. But like you can change it pretty easy. And for me, like each TikTok, it depends on the kind of TikTok I'm posting. Like my educational stuff does take a little bit longer.
I see the edits you make on them. Trust me. I watch those and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that took him a little bit.
Yeah. So like some of them, they're like 10, 15 minutes, pretty easy to do. Like if I just have to like put up a screenshot and like record my face in front of it with the green screen effect, like that'll take me like 10 minutes tops because it's just getting the screenshots and then writing a dialogue in my head and recording it. But like if it's something that's I've got to record footage, I've got to get screenshots and add commentary, like that'll take me minimum like 30 to 60 minutes, I would say. And I remember one of them, I spent about, I want to say about 2-3 hours on it. Like I spent like all night before bed one time just editing this one TikTok. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get on the Ellen show after this. Like they're gonna be like asking me to be at movie premieres and stuff. And it flopped hardcore. Like I can't even remember where it ended up at, but it just went nowhere.
Nothing sucks more than editing a video, loving it, and being like, wow, this is good. Like I just created the next. You post it, and it just fucking flops. You're like, okay, well, never mind.
And that's kind of why you need to post things on like as many platforms as possible, because TikTok used to be my like go-to, but I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted a clip on like a month or so ago where I was like, if you're a killer main, you're gonna love this clip, I promise. And
Is
it
it
was
your
a
just leave one?
Yep, it's the Fang
Yep, that
teabagging
one.
me at the exit gate.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
So that clip, I posted that on TikTok and it did absolutely nothing with it. And then I also posted on Twitter, and Twitter notoriously is like, oh, Fidget posted something. Who cares? Whatever. Twitter pushed it to over 100,000 people.
That's
Oh
So,
crazy.
wow.
and I'm like, even though I have like not really a great track record with Twitter specifically, in this instance, this video took off. So
Yeah.
it's like that was like another reassurance to me. Like, you just have to post something, especially if you really like it, on as many platforms as you can, because it could be the algorithm for that day was just like, nah, I'm not really into you today. Come back tomorrow and I'll push it to 80,000 people. But for today, like, I just don't like the shirt you're wearing. So 500 views now go away.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Oh, totally.
and it's so frustrating that you can have something that you really, you put a lot of time into and like you're just really proud of it, only for an algorithm to decide your fate. It's so it's frustrating because it's out of your control.
Yeah. That's really a good point, because I've started to do the same. Like I really wish I kept on the Twitter train, but there was one that I posted about a year ago, and it was something dumb. It was just me saying, like, it was me at an open exit gate and just me going like, what if behavior just introduced a mechanic like the exit gate regresses if you don't open it right away. It was just something dumb like that. And the Twitter algorithm caught it. And I had lots of people sending me messages being like, you're so dumb, I hate you, and
That's
delete
about right.
this. And some people were like, hey, that's not too bad. I kind of like that. And you could tell who was a killer main, who was a survivor main.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I've had a couple things on Instagram do okay. And one of them was me just running away from a Bubba as Jane, and I just don't understand why that did anything. But yeah, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even YouTube Shorts are okay sometimes. So yeah, it's really
Slushie,
important.
do you post on anything other than TikTok? Because I don't post on, other than YouTube and TikTok. I don't do shorts. I don't do Instagram Reels. I don't do
No,
Twitter.
I don't do anything besides TikTok, and then like sometimes I'll post a clip on Twitter, but it's like a funny, relatable one. Like my most recent one that I posted on Twitter, I was like refusing to recover on the ground because we had someone DC at 5 gens and the killer was slugging us. So the cape ended up wiggling out, and the bill was dying right above me, and I was yet again dance party like in my chair while I was sitting there dying, and you could just see the huntress in the background like sweating to catch the other Kate. But like my TikToks, I've started like it used to not take me long at all to like make my TikToks 30 minutes to an hour. It would take me, it depended on if I did heavy edits or not. But here recently I've started making like the Nadia style videos where it's like an intro at the beginning.
Yeah, I've noticed, and they do well too, right? With the intro in the beginning.
It changed everything.
It did, huh?
Yeah, it changed my videos like crazy. And then
they started popping up on my For You page
too.
more too. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like that hook at the beginning, because you have to catch someone's attention within the first like 5 to 10 seconds of the video, or they're just going to scroll past it.
They're just going to scroll past it. Yeah.
So if you can catch their attention with having a full screen, like making a super abrupt comment about what they're going to see, and then they end up watching it all the way through.
Yeah, it does work. I lifted that from you and Nadia when I did that. I'm the top Bubba in the world, and this clip is the reason why. And it's like just basic ass Bubba play, and people get upset with that.
Yeah, I got a lot of hate. I got a lot of hate on one of my TikToks. The first one that I did was the Nadia style one. I was like, the current head-on world record is 10
I remember
in
that.
A solo match. And the amount of hate that I got from that video was absolutely insane. They were like, who does this girl think she is? Does she think she's Nadia? This is the Nadia of Dead by Daylight, guys. Oh my god, she's probably got hacks too. Like,
and that didn't bother you? Those comments didn't bother you?
No.
You're a
No,
beast.
not
You're
at
a
all.
beast, Slushie. I would have cried. I would have cried in my room for an hour and a half, dude. I would have cried for an
No.
hour. I would have been in my bed just crying for a little bit. But you're a
But
beast.
I remind myself that every single person commenting, if they're commenting a hate comment, they're probably 12.
True.
Yeah,
So,
that helps
and
because if you ever click on the account of any hate comment you get, it is literally either the worst effing content that I've ever seen in my life,
yeah,
and that they're definitely just watching mine and they're upset that they can't make content just as good, or it's a kid that has a phone and is 9 years old and is just flapping those meat flaps of his,
yeah,
That's the only thing. So I mean, that's what helped me with hate comments a lot. It's because it's just nobody normal leaves a hate comment. Even when I see something I dislike, I don't leave a hate comment. I just
just
scroll
go
past
next.
it like a normal person. Normal people do not do stuff like that. Like with the whole Nadia thing, that was weird too. Listen, I don't care about Nadia. I don't watch her, I don't like her, dislike her. But leaving a comment is so weird, People are so weird on the internet.
Crow and I
and I
talked
look
about
at
that.
like
Yeah,
every
we
hate
did.
comment is like boosting me in the algorithm.
Yeah.
So like if someone hates on you, then someone is going to defend you, and then they're going to argue in your comments section, and then
And then the
makes your
video in the
views go
background
up.
is just going up. Your views are going up, and then that helps the algorithm, tricking
Yep.
the algorithm into thinking that people are watching it over and over again when it's really just people arguing.
Yep.
What were you gonna say, Fidget?
I was gonna say, Crow and I talked about on one of his podcasts where like I find a lot of these times when you get these, it really bothered me when I first started doing well on TikTok until I got used to it and was like paying attention more and more. Majority of these angry comments, it's just projection from people.
Projection,
Yeah.
100%.
Like there's been so many times people will decide in the moment that they absolutely hate me, and I'm reading the comment and I'm like, you are essentially like verbally attacking me for something I never did or said. Like you're angry at me, but I feel like you're actually not angry at me because this has nothing to do with anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Yep.
When people are angry,
yeah.
they just have to, they have to release it somehow, project it. They
Mhm.
project their anger out onto others 100%.
And they try to justify it with the weirdest things. Like I spoke with Spook and Jukes on the podcast last week, and he said that people. I think in one clip somebody was attacking like his family. He's like, "You're probably judging from how often you stream and from the way you play Bubba. It's like you're probably a shitty dad and all this weirdly personal stuff."
Weirdly personal
And like,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
then like people are in the comments being like, "Well, you teabagged, so that person's justified in calling you a bad father." It's like, how is that equal?
How is
Like,
connected?
how is that connected at all? You're so weird. Piggybacking off this stuff here, how do y'all deal with like what's probably the weirdest attack you've received? Like, what was there one? Are there any standouts where you're just like, "Oh, that was bizarre"? Like, I'll give you my example. One time, I've been a part of multiple TikToks where people create TikToks specifically for me, and they're like, "This is what I want to do to Crow to harm him and stuff."
Oh yeah,
one
you get
person-
some. You get some weird hate, Crow. You get
Yeah.
some weird hate, man. I've
You
seen
also,
that. Yeah,
you bait it out though. And
I
you
do.
know
You
do bait it out. You do. Yeah. You're not 100%
I'm-
innocent, but yeah,
I'm not
the shit
innocent.
you get is kind of weird.
100%. I'm not 100% innocent, but I remember one time somebody went through my personal Instagram, which is my not the Crow Show Instagram. They found pictures of when I was in the hospital and I was sick and like not looking too good. There were some pictures with non-flattering angles, and they took those pictures and put them in a TikTok. And then they showed Ghostface stabbing somebody like from the Scream movies, and they're like,
That is so weird.
"I know what you look like, Crow. So this is what I'm going to do to you." And I reported that to TikTok, and they're like, "No violations found." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So I was curious if
Yeah.
any of you have received any weird energy, any weird comments, and how do you deal with it?
Nothing like that.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm not saying like, have you
That's
received this, but
extreme.
like,
That's
yeah, that
aggressive.
was-
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot going on.
I've
And there-
had a couple.
Oh yeah.
Quite a couple, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like girl streamers definitely get hate on, and way more. So I'm sure that I'm sure that you've received way more hate than
Yeah, I had someone like Crow. I had people make like TikToks about me
Oh,
in
wow.
the past. I've had
so weird.
like hate raids on my Discord. Come to find out, they
geez.
were
seriously?
kids.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
but I had just beat them in a game of Dead by Daylight. They were
Yeah.
angry about it, and they came to my Discord and started like spamming links of very inappropriate adult toys, like
Oh gosh.
everything in there. Slushie, I'm going to R-word you, like
Wow.
all of that, just in my general chat of my Discord before any of me or my mods could catch it. And then I had a group of like little 12-year-old boys that were making accounts on Twitch and continuously following me during a charity event with very inappropriate
Oh.
names with my name attached to it. Like,
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm going to blank Slushie.
Wow.
Slushie's roast beef was one of the usernames, and it was there for an hour, and I like couldn't stop it, and it was like during a charity stream too. So
That's so
yeah,
disgusting. Like, and I'm really sorry you have to deal with that because, yeah, again, like Jaco makes a good point. Like, some people, depending on your gender or your sexuality, cultural background, like other people have it way worse than a
There are
majority of us.
100%. Yeah.
people out there who like they hate a specific group, whatever that group may be, and they like will go out of their way to find it and make it their life mission to spread that kind of hate.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. I've noticed like a lot of if you go to like streamers that are women or people of color, a lot of the comments will be about their color or about their about them being a woman, and I feel so horrible because there's no way you put your effort into a video and then the comments are just about your race or your gender. There's no way that feels good. That's got to be the worst thing ever. It's got to be horrible.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I have not dealt with anything close to what you guys have said because that sounds like really like a lot. The most I got was a dude who got upset that I said I'd beat him in Dead by Daylight on TikTok, and he made like 12 accounts and kept following me, and the account's name will be like 1v1 me, 1v1, like that was it. That was like the most harassment I ever got, and it was kind of funny more than anything. We were all just like, this guy's weird. Like, you could not pay me to do this. So for the fact that you're doing this for free, you have to have something better to do, man. Come on. But for me,
that was me. I'm still waiting for the invite.
I had a feeling. I knew it. I knew it. I just didn't want to say it.
I like trolling Jaco sometimes because he'll be like streaming. He's like, "Oh my god, this
Kate is fucking horrible.
This Kate is weird. This Kate sucks." And I'll be like, I'll jump in right after it ends. I'll be like, "Hey, I was the Kate, big fan."
Yeah, because I've one time played a game and I had some survivors that everything's perspective though, right? From my perspective, it looked like they sucked. Did they really suck? I don't know. But in the game, I was like, "Oh my god, like these kids are throwing." And then right after the match, I get a mess in the chat. "Hey, I just played with you," and I was like, "Oh my." They're like, huge fan of the stream. I was like, all right, just don't watch the VOD then, please. For your own sake, don't watch the VOD if you want to continue liking me. But that's just it for my right. That's just. I mean, I tell everybody not to take it personally. It's just a game. I'm just messing around. It's okay to suck. That's what I tell people. Everyone wants to be good at video games. It's okay to suck. We all suck sometimes. But that's just my experience. Fidget, you didn't have any like weird.
Like I've had like negative, hateful comments and stuff,
but nothing that weird. Yeah,
not that unless I've repressed it, nothing that I can remember like anything close to like sadly what you guys are talking about right now. And it makes me feel very gross to say that or say what I'm about to say, but I feel like that's also just kind of like white male privilege.
Yeah, well, that's what. 100%. Yeah, people.
And I feel very dirty saying that because I don't like that at all. But
no, it is. Yeah, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I have privilege myself. I'm a white female. Like I have privilege just being white. So then there's like people of color who deal with like 10 times worse than what I've dealt with. So like I try to keep in mind like I have these buttons on my stream deck to like hide my alerts, clear the chat.
Same.
And I can just handle it like within a click of a button and not have to deal with it. So it's gotten better over time. Like I'd say it was more so when I was smaller that stuff was happening, like averaging like 20-ish viewers because they just want to like
it's
hate
easy
on
to,
someone who's
they want to
small.
bully somebody who has a smaller viewership. They're too scared to hate on people that have bigger viewerships.
Yeah, like since I've had a bigger viewership, I don't deal with it like at all anymore. But that was like
That's good.
average 20 or below. That stuff was happening.
But even like I see like big time like female creators of colors who will just like people go out of their way to like attack them for their gender, for their race.
Yeah.
Even if they're not even they're not even like doing, they're just like maybe playing the game or whatever. People are like, they see them, they're like, I need to attack this person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the strangest thing. We saw that in the community when people were like trying to SWAT like people in the LGBTQ community, and
then
we
when they had the
definitely saw a rise of
Bubba
that.
with the blackface Bubba, you had people wearing the blackface Bubba and then only killing like black characters and stuff.
Yeah. I remember. I think it was my friend, that violin chick, who whenever she would go up against somebody who's using the blackface Bubba, she would just switch to the full face cam and just be like, I'm not showing this gameplay because people are weird. And you never know what kind of energy they're going to bring to the game. And
I remember when the Pride Charm came out.
Oh yeah,
tunneling people with the Pride Charm. Yeah, people would tunnel
with the Pride Charm.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Yeah, and when I started wearing it, and that was showing up on my TikToks, I got 98% of the time it was really good support for the charm. And then there'd be the odd person I'd have to ban for being like, oh, I used to like your content, but now that you wear the charm, I got a dip. And I'm like, okay, we'll see you later. Like,
I've had people say that over my painted nails. I've had people, whenever I paint my nails.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whenever I paint my nails, sometimes I get comments that like grown ass fucking men, dude, with children in their profile pictures complaining about my painted nails. Like, I used to like this guy's content.
Wait,
you have to go feed your children.
You have painted nails?
You're gonna unfollow me now, Fidget. Damn it.
See you later.
Okay. See ya.
Well, that was Sergeant Fidget. Here's his current schedule. Yeah, that's in my thing, like elephants in the room. I think it's always the elephant in the room when it comes to Twitch and TikTok and content creation. For me, like, I'm much older than most popular Dead by Daylight content creators. I'm fine with that. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing you guys can do about it. It's just the way the world is. And I get so much brutal hatred for being older than everybody. And I'm like,
the internet doesn't like anybody over the age of 23. You're considered an old person. If you're over 23 on the internet, all the 16-year-olds just call you. Yeah, I mean, my chat calls me. They'd say I'm like 57 all the time just because I'm 24. But
they call me old, and I'm 22. So
that's just.
I turn 34 on Thursday, 3 days from now, and I always tell people that age is just a number. It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, and I'm always, for me, I'm really proud of where I'm at in life. I've got a career in IT. I've got a podcast. I've got some cool friends I can invite on the podcast. Like,
who are your friends?
No complaints.
Not me, unfortunately. I'm not friends with Crow, so I don't know who you're talking.
I'm Elix, Kyle TG, Bucket Jess. All those people. You guys are just a bunch of jerks and meanie heads. These kids, you guys are the ones creating those hate accounts. And
yes, I thought it was obvious. I didn't want to say it flat out, but I thought, yes, Crow, I'm the one.
That's right. I wanted to jump the shark really quick here when it comes to Dead by Daylight. I want you to finish this statement. If I wasn't creating content for Dead by Daylight, I'd create content for this game. What would you pick? For me, I'd pick Overwatch too. That's super easy for me.
I'm gonna let Slushie. Yeah, let Slushie and Fidget go first.
Yeah, I'd do Valorant.
Nice.
Even though I just picked up the game and I have maybe 30 minutes, but
hey, hell yeah,
I'd get good.
Nice. How about you, Fidget?
I'm torn because, like I said earlier, back before a DVD, I was a variety streamer. I would play so many different things. I would even do retro streams every Sunday where I'm playing like Super Nintendo games, 64 games. With that being said, I have said multiple times, I was like, I wish, even though I'm very happy making DVD content, I wish I got good at a game, like, and I don't even really like this game, like Call of Duty,
An
or
actual
Fortnite.
popular game that's not dying
Well-
every month. Yeah, I feel that.
Well,
Yeah.
here's
I wish
my
my 2,000 hours was into something better.
Here's
but
my reasoning behind it. Because so many people have so many different made up rules of how this game is supposed to be played, I
Mhm.
feel like it gets to a point where even if you try to play by all these imaginary rules,
you're gonna upset somebody.
If you're if you're just good at the game, you're a terrible person. So
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
really,
No matter what. No matter
I get
what.
really frustrated where I feel like I have to hold back and can't just like I'm not saying like it's an esports game, but it is in nature a competitive game. It's 4v1, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wish I kind of got good at a game that didn't have all these made up rules where I could just boot up and just play the game. And if I
Yeah.
feel like I can make an optimal play, I can do it without having to worry about people coming in chat afterwards being like, excuse me, you killed my friend when I was clicking my flashlight, which means you're supposed to chase me and you didn't chase me. That's the rule, and
That's
you're a terrible
definitely-
person, and I hate you.
That's definitely
Like,
a
ugh.
killer main thing that you have to deal with for sure.
Yeah.
I don't play, that's why I don't play killer on stream, because
Yeah.
you know, it's like I only play killer off stream because if I'm gonna play like an asshole one, I don't you know, if an asshole I mean playing so I can win, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
I don't feel like dealing with all that stuff, so I don't. That's why I don't play killer on stream ever, or make
It's
content as killer.
frustrating.
Truthfully, oh, I bet, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
went
even
through a
talking
Killer
about
Main
like,
era.
I'm not even talking about like tunneling people out of 5 gens or campstone
No,
at
no, no,
4
no, and
gens.
that's so. Yeah, you don't need to do that to win the game. It's just doing, you know.
Like it's
Or like having
No,
to
I get-
camp at the end game because all the gens are done, and they're
Yeah,
like,
so
"Why
you
were
have
you
somebody on the
camping?"
hook by the last gen that's at 95%. Of course, you have to stay in that area. You know, it's different
Yeah.
than doing it in the beginning of the game. But that's what makes Dead by Daylight so weird. All these gray lines. Nothing's black and white. Everything's gray.
Mhm.
So it's all
Yeah.
up to perspective and interpretation. Yeah.
it just gets frustrating some days.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
that's probably
totally.
more a long-winded answer than you were looking for. But.
No, it's all good. Oh no, and that kind of piggybacks on something I was thinking about earlier today too, like um the survivor handbook, the killer handbook and stuff. Like I saw TikTok, and I'm not naming names because the last time I did it, I got canceled and people hated me and sent me death threats. Like literally, somebody even looked up my wife on Facebook and sent her messages on Facebook.
Oh my God.
And asked me to delete my account, and I'm like, wow, that's like
Jesus.
way too far. Anyway, somebody posted on TikTok, somebody I haven't heard of, and I couldn't name them if I tried, but they were like, the text read that when I take you off a hook and you don't let me heal you, and it was showing somebody self-carrying or using a med kit or something. And then what the person did is they dropped the pallet on that person because they were standing like raiding a pallet. So they dropped the pallet on the person who was self-carrying, then they ran away. And like 80% of the comments are like, "Oh, bestie, you ate, like slay queen." And it's like you just killed a resource
Yeah.
because somebody's
Mhm.
self-carrying. Like we don't know the full story. We don't know if there's 1 gen left or 5 gens left. That person might have a challenge to do, because there
Mhm.
are challenges where it's like equip self-care only and self-care yourself once. And that
Mhm.
actually ran pretty recently. So
Or
it's
fully
like,
deplete a med kit.
yeah, fully deplete a med kit. I
Meanwhile,
just
the complete opposite of that, but oh yeah, you dropped that pallet, slay queen. I did a TikTok. It was a 3-minute TikTok where this Bubba, he hooked everyone right away, and he had Insidious, so he just camped them to death at 5 gens. This was on Dead Dog Saloon, and I was
Okay.
the only one left. And I knew that no chases happened because of what the Bubba did. So I knew I had the entire, like every resource on the map. So I took Bubba on a 3-minute chase across the entire Dead Dog Saloon. Like we went on a full tour of this map, and I ended up getting Hatch in the end because I'm looking for it as I'm looping them. But people in the comments were like, "You used a pallet. You have no skill." And I'm like, I used a pallet against the insta down killer, and that makes me. Oh, okay. Okay. I personally thought it was a good play, but I used a pallet. Terrible person.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like you can't win. You can't please people. You just
No.
can't.
No, you can't. Yeah, no
No,
such
that
thing.
reminds me of that TikTok that I made recently. Because like I said earlier, I run quick and quiet head on a lot. So this Ada went down.
The Leafs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
the Leafs.
Yeah.
It's the Leafs. But this Ada went down, and I was going to my clock because we were going against a Freddy, and I was going to wake myself up because he had fake pallets. So after he hooked her, I quick and quieted the vault, woke myself up, and got her off of the hook. But I made her miss a skill check on the hook because I didn't get her off immediately. So she
You
dropped
made
the
her
pallet.
miss.
Yeah, I made her miss. Then I got her off the hook, and she beamed me with her flashlight, dropped the pallet, and vaulted it back and forth over and over and over again because I made her miss a skill check.
Why did you unplug her keyboard while you were waking
Yeah,
yourself
that's
up?
what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
I almost put this tweet out. Maybe I'll put it out later this week. I was going to put a tweet out that said something like, if a killer makes a mistake, it's the survivor's fault. If a survivor makes a mistake, it's the killer's fault.
Oh,
That
100%.
holds so true for so many people don't self-reflect in this game.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
it's pointing the finger at everything else.
Oh yeah. It's funny, as you were telling us that story, Slushy, I was like, oh, I remember seeing that, but I don't think I did see it, but I what it was is I had something very similar happen. I was fixing a gen on Ormond, and it was like 95% the person's on hook, like pretty close to me, not right next to me. I finished the gen, which didn't take long. Then I went and grabbed them off hook, and then they dropped the pallet, started vaulting and teabagging me, and I was like, oh, I didn't grab you immediately, so I'm the bad guy. But I got a gen fixed, and like I had time to get you off before you went to struggle phase. And the Survivor Handbook, I don't know. It's ever changing, and I may never be able to keep up with it. It's very strange. Well, I do want to keep mindful of the time because I told y'all we'll be here about an hour. I think it's been about an hour so far. But this has been amazing. Thanks y'all for agreeing to do this because,
Of course,
like I said, it's been a big dream of mine to get people together in any aspect we can. So on the podcast, it's a perfect way because it's just a good time. Like the thing is, we stream this game a lot through the week. We post content about it, but we don't really have a chance to like sit down in like a controlled environment and just like bitch, complain, talk about stuff, whatever, and
Yeah.
it's a good opportunity for people to get to know you as people as well and your feelings. And I'm being kind of silly about it, but it's actually true, right? Like it's as you're telling your stories, I'm like, hey, I can relate to that. Okay, I'm not alone in feeling that way. So I think anybody listening or watching the podcast can probably relate in some way. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I want to give all of you a chance to plug anything you're working on, like, of course, your streams, your platforms, and your stream schedule. Anything you want to say. If you're releasing a new album soon with your band, Fidget, why don't you go first?
So I stream on Twitch typically Wednesday through Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/SgtFidget. I'm on TikTok and YouTube as well. We got partnered on YouTube back in August. Once again, just Sergeant Fidget everywhere. And yeah, I specialize in DBD content, but every once in a while I dip back into my variety days.
Cool. Great. Slushie, how about you?
Yep. You can find me on Twitch. It's just Slushie now, which smile.
Hey, that's awesome.
On Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, all at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can find me everywhere, Slushie TTV. And I'm about to dip my toes into YouTube with a Hardcore Survivor series. So be on the lookout for that.
Right on. And WhoaJaco.
Yeah, twitch.tv/WhoaJaco. If you guys want to see somebody constantly complain and shit on your favorite game, that'll be me. If you want that, you can come through, and that's it. That's really all I gotta say.
And don't forget the thirst traps on TikTok.
Oh yeah, you'll notice if I don't have much edited, that's when the thirst traps come out. By the way,
Oh, that's
it's just
okay.
because why spend 2 hours editing when I could spend 30 seconds on TikTok? You know, it's a lot easier. So that little secret. That's how you know if a thirst trap's out, I'm behind on editing.
That's true. Okay, so that explains it. And yeah, I noticed you did one. You got a haircut recently, and I was like, "How much for your hair trimmings?" And
I saw
you never
that.
got back to me. That was
I was waiting for this. I was waiting for the podcast to tell you. I was just gonna give them to you, Crow, as a gift for having me on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll hit you up with the PO box and
let me know.
We'll
let me know. I'll send it to you. Exactly.
Okay.
Jaco, I don't know if you saw a comment I wrote on yours the other day. I literally just woke up, hadn't even had a sip of coffee yet, and your TikTok popped up, and I just said to myself, I'm choosing violence this morning. And you were talking about your like beard or whatever.
Yeah.
And I said some soap and water will wash that right off.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't see it, but now that I'm aware of it, I'll make sure to give it the response that it's deserving.
Oh,
listen,
get wrecked.
man, I never said it was a beard, okay? I just said I never grew my facial hair out this much before.
I think we're all guilty of commenting weird things on Jaco's TikToks.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
funny.
Oh,
I
it
remember
is.
one time I commented on one of Jaco's thirst trap TikToks, and I was like, "Sorry, I was watching my goldfish. Could you do that? Or walking my goldfish? Could you do that again?"
Nice.
And then I had like people who follow me and you both, Jaco, that was replying to me like calling me a simp.
I didn't.
That's awesome.
Man. Yeah, cringe
Cool.
traps is what I call them. Cringe traps.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cringe traps. Cool.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks again for doing this. For people listening, I'm the Crow Show, the host of this podcast. I think I'm going to scale back on Twitch, maybe 2 streams, maybe 3 streams a week, and TikTok, this podcast, of course, and Twitter. Trying to grow on Twitter as well. So I'll leave links to everybody's socials in the show notes. So again, thanks for listening, and everybody have a good night.